Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa, a channel, a platform, and a modality where we apply the principles of philosophy, spirituality, and mysticism to rapid lifestyle transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, this week we have been doing a lot of coaching calls, guys. And one of the patterns that I've seen running through our coaching calls now, as I speak to people, is that people are really trying to apply these modalities and they're getting very much bogged down in the detail. And when we're getting very bogged down in the details, to the extent that it's making one nervous or it's making one anxious, or it's making one just living like a materialist again, just using these tools as another tool to get ahead, then it's time to take a step back and do what Abraham Hicks calls going general. There's a lot to be said for going general, because the fact is that everything you want, all of the desires that you think you want, are vibrations anyway, because everything is vibration. Therefore, if you're vibrating generally in a good place, then you basically, all of the resistance drops, and then you're able to be moved, so to speak, by the current to a good place, and the place that matches your vibration. So there's a lot to be said for going general and just trust. All of the religious and spiritual traditions talk about this trust. In Islam, we call it at-tawakkul ala Allah. In Christianity, we call it the peace of the Lord, and so on and so forth, and waiting upon the Lord. And this waiting is a metaphysical waiting. You're not waiting for something to be done or to be accomplished in the physical, but rather it is a waiting of peace. You're basically abiding. And I think it would behoove a lot of us on this channel, and we all have those days. We all have those days where we just get in a rut and specific focus is not working. It behooves us then to go general. So we are specific on this channel because being specific is exciting. Basically, it does accelerate the speed and it takes us there on this film roll. However, when you're applying it as a tool, like we said, it's actually counterproductive. You know, Alan Watts, the great philosopher of Zen and Eastern philosophy, during the earlier part of the last century, talked about the fact that many people study metaphysics so that they could get one up on the universe. But how are you going to get one up on the universe when you are the universe? We have to go back to our primordial roots. We have to go back to the basic principles, the philosophic knowledge. And Neville Goddard, the greatest mystic, probably of the last century, did say, the first principle is this. The first principle of all of these modalities is be still and know that I am God. That's the first step to going general, and to just allow yourself to be in a general state of receptivity. Neville Goddard talked about this a lot, and he talked about it in the context of, we all know the story from The Law and the Promise. I've talked about in some videos, of the woman who, she was older and she didn't have a job and she needed to get a job. She didn't have transportation or clothes or social connections. And she told Neville Goddard that instead of trying to imagine a scene or to focus on any one of those, because focusing on any one of those made her anxious, made her nervous, she rather said to herself this mantra. She said, "Isn't it wonderful?" And she actually said it enough to where she conjured the feeling, the emotion, and the state of, "Isn't it wonderful?" And then, of course, the story goes that she actually met someone who was a friend of a friend, and that friend ended up being a very wealthy person and basically supported her for all of her life and gave her a great deal of money and so on and so forth without her having done anything. That's the way this works, ladies and gentlemen, because when you flow with the current, as Abraham Hicks talks about, that current takes you wherever you want. Also, talks about it a lot, Vadim Zeland, in Reality Transurfing, where he talks about the fact that you should say to yourself, one of the things that he says in the book is the universe is going to take me for a walk today. The universe cares for me and gives me ease. And he talked about it. It's like putting a golden tint in a mirror so that when you look at it, you can see a reflection of gold. You can put just these general tints in your life and your lifestyle, these general beliefs, and it's very easy because you're not forcing anything. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the key. Whenever it feels like force, whenever it feels like work, stop it. Even the processes. Because especially in the strategic planning modality, the process that we're giving is you've got to be very specific about what it is that you want, and you've got to specify those details. But some of you are getting stressed out by that, just by the act of having to specify the details. And we say then, just take a step back because you don't have to specify it. Why? Because the specification itself now is a desire. And the universe is going to take care of that specification for you. How? It's simply everything's going to work itself out if you just abide as the observer, as the observing presence. So I just want to review, because this is going to be a review for most of you. But I want us to really, let's say, give the rest of this week to just being general and only doing things when we're actually inspired to do them. Don't try to inspire yourself to do it. Don't try to force it. And the greatest technique for going general is what we refer to constantly in these videos, and that is meditation. Meditate the first thing you get up in the morning. Joe Dispenza talks about it. Abraham Hicks says take 15 minutes a day to just meditate. And there are many tools and techniques. For many of us, or for many of you who have attained that experience, you don't need a technique. You can just wake up and be the presence. Just abide in the presence. Get into that silence. And just practice going into the silence. If you would just take a few days to observe yourself, and to observe yourself through the eyes of Source, and to know yourself as spirit, simply having a physical experience, and you will just do that. No other techniques or practices necessary. Everything will come together for you in a beautiful and staggering way in a very short amount of time. So we're recommending to people, especially those who feel anxiety, especially those who feel pressured, just go general. Meditate. Observe yourself. Be the presence. Listen to Eckhart Tolle and read his book again, The Power of Now. Learn how to observe your thoughts. Learn how to hold yourself and your thoughts in that presence. And I promise you, you're going to begin really specific really quick because you're going to have that energy surging up for you. But first we need to take that rest, that break, and get general and know who we are once again as Source, ladies and gentlemen. The other great technique of this is, Abraham Hicks talked about it, wouldn't it be nice? You can tell yourself, wouldn't it be nice? And then just create soft scenarios. You don't have to reach for a life purpose or a life goal here. That's what I tell my coaching clients to do. And we work on that. We work on getting there so that you can have that far-sighted focus. But most of the time, it just behooves you to remain in that wouldn't it be nice if, and then give yourself small things that feel attainable and feel comfortable to you. And as your vibration moves up, your comfort zone is going to expand. A lot of motivational speakers talk about getting out of your comfort zone. We don't teach that here. We teach you need to expand your comfort zone. And you do that by getting on the wavelength, by getting on the vibrational aspect of what you want to have. And you do that by small things. Like you say, wouldn't it be nice if I could take a walk in the woods today? Wouldn't it be nice if I could go on vacation, a nice vacation for just a few days somewhere close today? Wouldn't it be nice if I could go out and get something nice to eat today? And then treat yourself to some of those things if you can. If you can't, you can't always treat yourself to those things in your imagination. Just for a little while, make it a little bit smaller and make it just about the feeling of fulfillment and satisfaction. And of course, the last technique that I want to give you for going general and actually for having everything that you want come to you with speed and with joy. The quickest way possible is down your path of least resistance. And this is my default mode, ladies and gentlemen. It's what I do most of the time. And that is daydream, ladies and gentlemen. Don't even make it about visualizing to attain something like we've talked about incessantly in our videos. You don't want to use these tools directly as instrumentalities. Rather, you want to use them as ends in themselves. Well, daydreaming is a great way to do that, because you're not even seeking an image, you're not even seeking an imaginal scene, rather you're receiving it, and that's going to be directly piped in from your right brain, from your inner being. You're going to see how all of that merges, and then you're going to come to attainments and so on and so forth without lifting a finger, without work, and as the biblical scriptures say, without taking any thought. So guys, meditate. Say, wouldn't it be nice if? And daydream, guys, and be gentle and easy with yourselves, because at root you know who you are. You already have everything that you wish, and you don't need anything in the now. If you will just be in the now and observe yourself as that loving presence, be mindful, observe the observer, and I promise you your cork will float, as Abraham Hicks talks about, and then you'll be getting a lot more specific a lot quicker. So guys, I encourage you all, go general this week and just allow the blessings that are already queued up for you to start flowing to you easily and effortlessly. Thank you for watching. If you find value in our materials, we do encourage you to subscribe to the channel below. This is a channel of master manifestors, people who are working on being master manifestors, and you'll put in your energy with us and you'll be helping us get the word out. And I am doing coaching calls. Of course, these have been taking off. I'm now spending more time in coaching calls than we do making videos. We're enjoying this modality a lot. We're enjoying the synergy and the collaboration and the co-creation, which is a part of who we are. I will put my email in the description to schedule a call. You will make more progress in weeks than many people make in months and even years. So, till very soon, guys, this is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa, bidding you a very good night.